In today's What Sold video, we are going to be talking about the sales that took place in the last week of April, and you will never believe which platform really stepped it up to help save the week a little bit. And I'll share my April numbers with you. Stay tuned.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I'm a part-time reseller and I typically do a What Sold video every week, but I have been so bad about staying on top of these. To be honest, they take a really long time to film and to edit. It's just a huge production, but I know that for myself personally, I do enjoy watching What Sold videos the best because I feel like that's where I learn what is worth picking up, because I feel like, haul videos are great, but you're seeing what people are picking up, not necessarily what's selling. So I do hope that these videos are informative and helpful to you as a reseller, especially from the perspective of someone who doesn't have access to a lot of high luxury brands. And I'm typically picking up a lot of bread and butter, and I think pretty successfully selling that stuff. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what sold for me. If that sounds interesting to you and you like learning from a part-time reseller who likes to sell very ordinary things, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. And at any point, if you're enjoying the video, if you're learning anything, don't forget to hit that like button as well. So we're going to jump right into it by talking about the sales that took place on April 25th, which was a Monday. The first thing to sell was over on eBay because I had no Poshmark sales. Poshmark it's been kind of going through this for me, but with really low peaks. I don't really have really great moments. So it's still, I'm a little bit on that struggle bus still. But over on eBay, the first thing to sell was this new with tags New York collection, which I think is a brand maybe sold at Macy's. A lot of these kinds of brands, I always get which department store they're sold at incorrect, but maybe Macy's, maybe you can find this at TJ Maxx. It was a navy I don't know how to say this word. I feel like you can also get eggs in this style. Maybe I'm crazy, but it was this paisley faux wrap crochet lace dress. I got this for free in a wholesale box from the company Via Trading. It was a box that they sent me for free so I could open it for you guys and you could see what kind of stuff was in there. This box was Macy's pull. So actually, yeah, this is from Macy's. And I've had this dress now for probably close to 3 years. So I, at this point, just wanted it out of my house. I had already taken pictures of it, listed it. I didn't want to just donate it, so I put it out to auction on eBay. It sold for $2.99. Shipping was more expensive than what I had charged, so I made a profit of 59 cents. Was it worth it after holding on to it for 3 years? Absolutely not. But at least I didn't lose money on it, and now I'm 59 cents richer. And really, what I got out of this sale was the education and the knowledge that this is not a brand worth picking up, even new with tags. So that's really what I got out of it, was that education and 59 cents. So there you go. The next platform to bring me a sale was Kidizen. And the thing that sold was another item that I've had for a really long time. It was this pair of Breckles. Again, this is a brand that you can pick up. I don't even know. I want to say, again, TJ Maxx. I'm not 100% sure. It's not a very high-end brand. It was this pair of brown sandals. I think the style name was Ruby. They were in a size 8. I said I had $3 into these. I don't honestly even remember where I got these. I'm pretty sure I did not pick them out myself. They were sent to me either by someone or in a ThredUp box or something like that. But I have $3 down, so I don't know what that means. But anyway, I sold them for $19 on Kidizen. On Kidizen, I do free shipping on everything because it's kind of the culture of Kidizen. So it was $6.15 to ship these out. I made a profit of $7.81. Again, I was just very happy to move things out. So Monday was the day of moving out old inventory, which I'm not going to complain about. So moving on to April 26th, which was a Tuesday, I did have some Poshmark sales. The first one being this pair of Citizens of Humanity Faye, that was the style, number 003, full leg flare jeans in a women's size 24. You guys, I've also had these for, I want to say close to 2-3 years. These sold finally for $25. That was with discounted shipping because I did use a service called Posher VA. I use them to share my closet. I use them to send out offers to likers for me so that I don't have to do any of that stuff myself. I don't want to sit there in front of my screen 24/7, checking up on what's happening in Poshmark world. Like, I just rather have someone else do it for me. And if you want that experience, I do have a coupon link that you can use down in the description below so that you can save 20% off of your first payment. But I do personally really like being a little bit more hands off with my Poshmark closet. I'm saying that I had about $6 into that. I think I got it at a local thrift store. And the reason why I've had these in my possession for so long is because I believe I sold them once before and I couldn't find them. And then, like, months later, after I had canceled that initial sale, obviously, months later when I was kind of going through all of my bins and doing an inventory check, I found them. And then I never got around to, like, relisting. I don't know. Yeah, just bad reselling 101. But they did finally sell. I did finally make my profit of $12.28. Citizens of Humanity is one of those brands. It's, it retails for a ton. It doesn't really resell for that much anymore. $25 to $50 is about what you can expect, I would say, especially on these older styles. The next thing to sell was this Next Level Apparel John Party Ride Scene Sunset Graphic t-shirt in a size small. This sold for $15. I had $3 into it. That I believe I got in a ThredUp rescue box, but I made a profit of $9. I actually had no idea like what this was, who this was, didn't understand the graphic at all. And the way that the typography looked on the shirt, I thought it said Dawn Party. And I thought it had something to do with some sort of alcohol. So I listed it as such. I listed it as like Dawn Party, Ride Scene, something. Somebody on Poshmark reached out to me so kindly and they were like, hey, I just wanted to let you know, what it says on the shirt is actually John Party. I think she said he was a musician. I'm gonna put some information here about who he is, but she said if you put the right name, you'll probably get more eyes on it and make the sale. And I was like, you're probably right. Like, it's hard to sell something for a person or a brand that doesn't exist. Like Dawn Party, is it anyone? I don't know. So I changed it, and sure enough, a few weeks later, I made the sale. So this sold, like I said, for $15. I made a $9 profit. Thank you to the kind stranger who let me know. I had someone on eBay let me know, too, about a pair of Keens that I had listed, and she was like, you have these listed as men's, but they're actually women's. There are some good Samaritans out there. I want to believe that people are inherently good and that there are more good people than bad. And it's people like those strangers that, help me feel those things. I've also, however, in the last couple days experienced some nasty people. So it all kind of balances out. The next thing to sell was this Hannah Anderson white floral pajama set in a size 8. This was actually something that my daughter wore, but she's outgrown it. She is 8 years old. She's going to be 9 very soon in like a month. So, I guess she'll be 9, but she's kind of tall for an 8-year-old, which makes me really happy because I could never say that about myself. I could never say, I'm kind of tall for a 10-year-old. Like, I've always been the shortest person in the room, and she is usually one of the tallest, and I don't know how that happens because it's not like my husband is a giant or anything. So very excited about that. That's a really long way of saying that she has outgrown this PJ set. It sold for $18. That was the full asking price, and it sold within 24 hours. So I probably could have priced it up a little bit more. Hannah Anderson is really well known for their PJs. So if your kids have some and they outgrow them and they're in really good condition still, I would for sure go ahead and list them. And if you find any at the thrift store that are in really good condition, I think they're definitely worth picking up because they're usually a fast flip. You're not going to make a huge amount, but they are a fast flip. So I made a profit of $14.40 on that. The next thing to sell was over on eBay. It was this Diane von Furstenberg teal geometric print belted dress. This did have some holes on the back. I remember I picked it up, I want to say at a local consignment store for $6.50. It sold for $20 on eBay. I only made a profit of $4.36 on that because I think I also had free shipping on that maybe. I don't know. I was just happy to see it move, especially because I didn't know about the holes until I got it home, which was kind of a bummer, but that's just how it goes sometimes, especially when you're shopping in a place with really poor lighting. Moving on to April 27th, which was a Wednesday, I had one Poshmark sale. It was kind kind of a surprising sale. It was by the brand Nicole Miller, New York, but it was a men's gray button-up shirt in a size medium. This I got in a Thread of Rescue box. I had about $3 into it. That was my average cost of goods for that box. And so it sold for $20. I made a profit of $13. It did not look or feel super well made. I was debating whether or not to even list it, whether it was worth my time, but I did, and it sold for my full asking price, and it wasn't listed for too long. So that just goes to show, like, I know a lot of people subscribe to the idea that you should only list things that bring you joy, and like, if you don't like things, you're not going to list them. And that is very true for some people. For me, if it's in my house, it's going to get listed. I don't care if I like the item or not. And I didn't like this, and I still made money off of it. So if you have things in your death pile and you know that you can muster up the energy to list it, just keep reminding yourself, like, I may not like this. That doesn't mean that someone else doesn't or won't, and it doesn't mean that the item is not going to sell. There are a lot of things that I'm going to talk about that sold that I'm just like, what? So moving on, and this I think is a prime example of what I just said. On eBay, I sold this Adidas orange striped full zip track jacket in a size small. Not my cup of tea, but it sold for $18.50. That was an offer that someone sent me. I had $2 into it because it came in a bulk thread up mixed rescue box, so I made a profit of $13.04. That was probably listed for a couple months. It wasn't an exciting piece to me, but I made some money, and that box has had some really big hitters and then some modest sales like this. The next thing to sell was by the brand T by Talbots, which is kind of their like slightly sportier line, if you will, because Talbots is generally very like career wear driven, but this is their more casual, like sporty line. It was this pair of black printed capri leggings in a size large petite. These sold for $14.90. I had 80 cents into them because I got these a couple years ago at a local consignment store. They let me shop in their storage unit by myself because this was like at the height of the stay-at-home orders. So that way I was able to get inventory but not be around anyone else. And I was also able to provide a local business with some income because I was, shopping in bulk. So I had 80 cents into that. I made a profit of $11.37. The next thing to sell was this pair of Finn Comfort brown suede slide-on strappy sandals in a size 37.
A few moments later.
You guys, I ran out of memory space, so if I moved, that's why. We were talking about... What were we talking about? Oh, we were talking about the brand Finn. Oh, this eye is like so tired. Like, I'm pretty tired, but this eye's decided like it needs to sleep right now. So if you see that eye slowly starting to close, that's what's going on. But Finn Comfort, I think it's a German brand similar to like Birkenstocks. They're just all in that same kind of comfort family. These were actually given to me by a local reseller when I bought out her inventory. I honestly probably would have passed on these if I had come across them at the thrift store. Well, I feel like I kind of know now when it looks like this, like it looks, I feel like all those comfort brands kind of have a similar look to their logo and the way that, everything is on the insole of the shoe. So maybe I would have stopped to look and looked up comps, but I was really happy that this just happened to be, part of the inventory that she gave me, and I was forced to, just do some research, learn about it, educate myself, and as a result, it sold for $45. This was something that was promoted at 3%, and so I did have, a few extra fees, but I only had $1.02 into the shoes, so I made a very handsome profit of $35.48 on those slides, and if you see that brand out in the wild, definitely a brand worth picking up. The next sale was over on Mercari, and it was this Marc by Marc Jacobs rose gold link watch. It was kind of in not like the best shape. I don't remember what it's called when, the metal kind of like wears because of constant contact with the skin. I can't remember the word, but especially with rose gold, I feel like you see that wear a lot more, and that was definitely the case on this watch. I think I only had it listed for like $25 or $35. It sold for $20. I had $8.56 into it. In that, my actual profit was $17.12, but I'm kind of doing a commission deal with one of my friends from church, and so $8.56 is half the amount that I earned as profit, so they get half and I get half. The next next thing to sell was over on Kidizen, so another Kidizen sale, and it was this pair of Patagonia centered crop space dye leggings in a size medium. These sold for $30. I had $3.92 into them because they were part of a wholesale pallet that I got from a fellow reseller, and so my average cost of goods per item was $3.92. I paid $4.15 to get these shipped out, and so I made a profit of $18.33. That was a pretty quick flip. I would say that sold within 2 weeks. Patagonia, I know, obviously, we all know their jackets, their pullovers, those sort of things do really well. But I, have some decent luck with anything else that's Patagonia as well. The next day that we'll talk about is Thursday, which was April 28th. This was a strictly Poshmark day, which was kind of weird because, up until that point, I'd had sales on multiple platforms each day. But the first thing to sell on Poshmark was this pair of new with tags, Walter Hagen 11 Majors khaki golf shorts in a size 40. These sold for $35, which was my full asking price. I had $3.92 into those from the same reseller wholesale pallet, and so I made a profit of $24.08. I have talked a good amount about how golf stuff has been selling really well for me, and it just continues to be the case. Golf stuff is still selling really well. It's selling really fast after an item gets listed. If you have any in your home, I definitely recommend listing it. I've actually gotten some comments from people on Instagram who are like, yep, like you told me to list golf stuff. I did, and it is flying out the door. So hopefully that's the case for you, and I know that it has been for me. The next thing to sell was this pair of Keen brown leather City of Roses slide-on sandals in a women's size 10. These sold for $25. I believe that was an offer that I took, and I had $8.20 into them from a pop-up consignment sale, but it was from like maybe 2 or 3 sales ago. They do it twice a year, so it wasn't from the most recent one, but maybe the one before that. I made a profit of $11.80. However, I think I got like a 1-star rating, and the reason for it was because this person was like, these are the worst shoes ever. They're so slippery. Like, I just slip around when I walk. Like, I kind of giggled reading the love note. It was not a love note. It was a mean note. But she was like, such a waste of money. And I'm like, lady, like, I did not make these shoes in my home. Like, I am not responsible for the fact that they are so slippery slidey. Like, I didn't make them. So if you have a complaint, you can take them up with Keen. But, a lot of people don't understand that when you're rating a seller on Poshmark, you're supposed to rate them on things like, did the item come in the condition as described? Or, was it packaged nicely? Whatever it might be. Like, did they ship in a timely manner? Instead, people want to ding you because the shoes are slippery. And it doesn't matter anyway, because regardless of what the rating is, I still got paid. So that's all I really care about. Not that that's all I care about, but you know what I mean. The next thing to sell was this Jonah Michelle, never heard of this brand, orange floral sleeveless dress. I think this was in a girl size 8. I believe I was given this for free from a friend at church. I definitely did not purchase this myself at a thrift store or anything like that. This was another piece that I was like, do I list this? Is it worth listing? Does anyone even want to buy it? But I listed it. It sold for $15 and I made a profit of $12. I know that I had that listed for at least half a year, but it's still $12 I didn't have before, just from something that made its way into my house out of the goodwill of my friends and family who donate stuff to me to resell. So I am not going to complain about that. Now, would I go out of my way to pick up all dresses by this brand? Absolutely not. But if you happen to just be gifted a Jonah Michelle piece from someone in your life, I don't know, maybe it's worth listing. The next thing to sell was this pair of Tory Burch black leather classic Reva or Reva flats. I don't know how to say it because I'm not bougie like that. But they were in a size 6.5. I got these from that friend at church who we were working out like a consignment deal where I give her 50% of whatever I profit from that item. So these sold for $45. My profit was $36, but because we're splitting that profit, she gets $18 and I get $18. These were a little flawed. There was some wear on the leather on the back, and then there was a little like rip and kind of like missing piece of leather along the rim of one of the flats. And so for that reason, I felt like $45 was a good amount to receive for those flats. And I even tried like putting some, like leather conditioner, like the Doc Martens. But like you can't like grow leather on places where there are no leather with the Doc Martens leather stuff. Like, that's not how it works. It just kind of like dyes the leather if maybe there were some scuffs and stuff like that. I mean, it made it look better, but you could still tell like there were little snags and rips in the leather. Moving on to April 29th, which was a Friday. Again, I had a Poshmark sale, and it was another pair of shoes. It was this pair of new with tags, Universal Thread, which is a Target brand, brown cognac, Diorce woven flats in a size 9.5. These I got from that local reseller when I bought out her inventory. They also sold for $15. I had discounted shipping on these because this was a Posh or VA sale, and so I made a profit of $9.26. It's not a killing, but this was something that I had already purchased, for a very cheap price. I just went ahead and listed it because I knew that, especially given the season that we were in, that they would sell, that I wouldn't have to sit on them for too long, and they were a little bit bigger of a size, which helps as well. The next thing to sell was over on eBay. It was this Allura Ambiance 1 Reed diffuser, jasmine cucumber fragrance. It was a 16-ounce bottle of the scent. It actually didn't come with any of the Reed diffuser sticks. I picked this up at a local estate sale that I went to with my friend Chiwon. I actually have the video of us going, and I will link that here and down in the description below. But they had 2, and I believe that they were from, I want to say Barney's. Is that the store that doesn't exist anymore? You could see on the bottom of the box where the fragrance was inside of, that it still had the name of the department store. I think it was Barney's, but it retailed for a ton. I want to say like $75 or something like that. And when we were at the estate sale, I looked up comps and they seemed to be pretty good. So I, convinced her to buy one. I bought one and mine sold for $40 with the buyer paying for shipping. By the way, on eBay, I have the buyer pay for shipping on everything. Maybe like 5 out of the 900 listings I have do I pay for shipping myself, but for the most part, the buyer pays. So I made a profit of $25.74 because I paid $7.50 for this at that estate sale. Not bad. The next day that we'll talk about is April 30th, which was a Saturday. The first thing to sell on Poshmark was another pair of shoes. So this was a great week for shoes. I feel like I went a few months without selling any shoes, and I was getting really worried because I was like, well, what's going on? But then shoes just started flying out the door all of a sudden. This is a pair of Gianni Beanie metallic bronze leather woven espadrille wedges in a size 7. These sold for $21. I had $1.80 into them because I got these forever ago from that consignment store where I was allowed to shop in bulk. I also had discounted shipping on these. But yeah, my cost of goods for shoes from that particular consignment store when I was shopping in bulk was $1.80. So I made a profit on those of $13.28. This brand is very confusing to me because some comps for the brand are great and it seems like it's a really good brand. But usually I feel like my experience with it has been that it's not so great. And most comps support that argument that this is like a whatever brand when it comes to resale. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what your relationship with Gianni Beanie is like, but I have a rough time with it. The next thing to sell was by the brand Redhead, and it was this olive green short sleeve button-up shirt in a size extra, extra large. It looked kind of like a fishing shirt or something like that. This was something that I got from the local reseller as part of the buyout, and it sold for $14, and so my profit was $10.03 because my cost of goods was only $1.02. Moving on to eBay, this was another piece that I was like, is this even worth listing? I don't feel like anyone's going to want to buy it. And there was a kind of big flaw that I'll get to here in a second, but it was this vintage John Blair green short sleeve button-up shirt in a size 2XL. The 2XL was an estimate because there was no size tag. And that was one of the reasons why I was like, oh, should I just donate this? Like, is it really worth my time to list? Because I only had $1.02 into it. It was part of the reseller buyout as well. But I went ahead and listed it. I think I listed it for like $25. I sent out offers to watchers on this for $19.90 and someone accepted. So I made a profit on that top that I almost didn't list of $15.50. Again, just proof that just because you don't find something appealing or it's not your style, or even if you're doing things like guessing the size based off the measurements, there's still value, I think, in listing those things. It's already in your house. You may as well. I mean, that's my philosophy, at least. You do not have to adhere to it. You don't have to agree with it. But I have made a lot of money listing things that I don't find appealing. I'll just leave it at that. The next thing to sell was this Talbot's Madras plaid linen blend blazer in a size 4. I have actually sold the same exact blazer before, so when I saw it again at a Goodwill near my in-laws, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to pick it up because I know it'll sell. It sold for $30. I had $3.50 into it, so I made a profit of $22.59. And then on Kidizen, I had a I had a 6-piece bundle sell. I always have some sort of sale running on Kidizen, and I think I had like 2 or more pieces. You get like 15% off or 20% off or something like that. Someone bundled 6 items, didn't even give me an opportunity to send them an offer. They just bought the bundle outright. I was shooketh to my core because this kind of behavior never happens to me on Kidizen. So I'll tell you, what sold, but I will say that when I shipped the item out, the buyer messaged me and she was like, I love everything. Everything fits great, but I feel like I'm missing a piece. She was like, I didn't get this loft sleeveless top. And I was like, gosh, like what could have happened? And I almost wanted to be like, can you just check again? But clearly, like she had looked through everything. Well, I remember pulling it out of my bins, and so I was very confused, but I was like, hey, I'm sorry it didn't make it into your package. I'm just going to send you a refund. And it's really nice because Kidizen has this like partial refund option that makes it very easy to just send them a refund of however much you want, and it's so easy to do it. So I just calculated how much I owed her for that one piece, sent her the partial refund, and we were good to go. I did find the piece. I think what had happened was that day I was shipping out so many things, and typically what I do, this is really awful of me and not super professional, but like behind this rack are all of my bins on these big shelves, and so what I will do is I will pull the item from the bin and I will just chuck it like over to this area where I'm sitting right now because this is where I do my shipping. I'll just like throw it. So I think what happened was I threw it and it like landed under the table, and so I didn't see it. But I was cleaning the shipping or like reselling area a few days ago and I found it under the table. So I'm going to just have to relist it because I could reach out and be like, do you still want this? And I guess I could offer like an even steeper discount because it's not like a super stellar piece, but I'll probably just relist it. So the other pieces in her bundle, however, the 5 that she did get, the first one was this Anthropology Mauve. That was the house brand. It was this blue Boswell floral blouse in a size 0. This I actually believe I got from Melinda at Joyfully Curated. It just didn't fit me super well. Like I just didn't like how I looked in it. I thought the blouse was really darling. I just didn't like how I looked at it, so I went ahead and listed it. The next item was this pair of Stoosh. I feel like this brand is affiliated somehow with ASOS, but it was this pair of high-rise black tuxedo pants in a size small. That one I had 80 cents into. The Anthro piece I had $0 into because she just sent that one to me for free. But yeah, these I had 80 cents into because I got them at that local consignment store when I did the big bulk buy. The next item to sell was this Chico's tan open front woven fringe boho jacket in boho jacket. This one I also only had 80 cents into because it also came from the local consignment store as part of that big bulk buy. So one thing that really made me so ecstatic about this bundle sale as well is that it was a lot of pieces that I had been sitting on for over a year. And you have no idea how good it feels to move pieces that you've had for a really long time and move them for good money. The next item was this pair of Talbot's houndstooth pull-on pant leggings in a size extra small. These I thrifted for myself. I did wear them a handful of times, but honestly, my school that I work at is so laid back. Some of the teachers, and I'm not even talking PE teachers, like some of the math teachers teach in sweatpants. I'm not joking. I'm not like exaggerating. My principal, he's a new principal this year, and he's like very much about like being a part of the culture and like, learning who the kids are and meeting them where they're at. This man shows up to work in like tracksuits and like bucket hats and like, so yeah, there's not really a dress code, and it just felt silly to own pants like these that I very rarely wore because typically I just wear jeans to work. So I went ahead and listed them. $0 cost of goods, however, because I did wear them a few times. And then the last thing to sell was this Weston printed crochet lace v-neck sleeveless top in a size small. This one I've had for over 3 years. I still remember picking this up at a local Goodwill and being like, this is so cute. It's going to sell instantaneously. No one Everyone has wanted it for 3 years, and then this buyer came along and blessed me with this amazing bundle sale, and I couldn't even do her the decency of sending her everything that she purchased. I made it right in the end, but still. I had about $4 into that top. So in total, the bundle sale was for $131.15. That was how much she paid. However, once you factor in shipping, which was $9.50, as well as my cost of goods for those items, I made a profit of $101.02, which is just bananas for me. Hearing that that's coming from Kidizen, that's very uncharacteristic of Kidizen as a platform. But that is one of the reasons why I cross-list everything to every platform that it applies to, is because you just don't know. Like, you want to say, oh, like on Kidizen I only sell kids clothes, so I'm only going to list kids clothes. But on Kidizen, this particular week that we're talking about, I sold 7 pieces and all of them were women's pieces. None of them were kids pieces. So it just goes to show, like, it's worth cross-listing and taking that little extra step and little extra time to get your listings onto as many platforms as possible, because you just don't know which platform the item is going to sell on. For me personally, when I cross-list, I use a Chrome extension called List Perfectly, because it not only serves as my cross-listing tool, but it's also my inventory management system. It's where I keep track of, how much I pay for an item, where I source the item, what bin it's in. All that information is stored in my List Perfectly inventory management system, and I use it to cross-list. So it's a really great tool. If you want to check it out or learn more about it, I do have a link down below. And if you want to sign up for it and try it out for yourself, they do have like a 2 or 3 day free trial, maybe. I don't know. They do have some sort of free trial. So if you hate it, you can get your money back. There's literally no risk. But you can save 30% off of your first month with my coupon code, which is Becky Park. So check out the link in the description if you're interested in that. But we're going to move on to our final day of sales, which was May 1st. So we finally got through April sales. We are now in May. And the first thing to sell was by the brand Vuori. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but this is a newer activewear brand that I had no idea what it was when I pulled it out of the men's threaded rescue box that I received it in. Some of you actually in that unboxing video were like, oh, that's a good brand, because when I pulled it out, I was like, this shirt feels whatever. It feels really cheap. It feels like an Amazon brand. And you guys were like, no, like, it's a good brand. My husband actually just ordered a bunch of shorts from there and he really likes them. But it was this green short sleeve t-shirt with like a pocket in a size small, just an activewear shirt. I had it listed probably only for like 2 or 3 days, and it sold for $25 with discounted ship because this was a Poshmark VA sale. I had $3 into it because, like I said, it came in that men's threaded rescue box. So I made a profit of $15.28 on that, but the difference is that I made that sale pretty quickly. I just had it sitting in my death pile for like months and months and months, because when did I do that unboxing? Like in I don't even know. It's been an ungodly amount of time. I don't know what's wrong with me. The next thing to sell was this pair of DKNY golf blue high-rise athletic pants in a size 8. They sold for $25. I had $1.02 into them because they came as part of the reseller buyout. So again, with the golf stuff, and I made a profit of $18.98. This was another item that I was like, do I list this? Is this worth my time? Turns out it was, and it didn't even take that long. DKNY is kind of a whatever brand, but I think the fact that, it's a golf thing, golf stuff is selling well right now. It flew out of my door. The next thing to sell was this pair of Columbia Omni Shield gray cropped pants. These sold for $17, again with discounted shipping because of Poshmark VA. I had $1.02 into them because they were also part of that reseller buyout. So I made a profit of $10.86. Columbia is a definite bread and butter activewear brand. It never sells for a huge amount. It does tend to sit a little bit, but it will always sell, and you'll always make maybe like $10, $15 profit on it. So I definitely would not pay up for it. Honestly, the only place that I would pick it up is at the bins, unless you're getting something substantial like a winter coat or like boots or something. If it's like, pants like these, t-shirts, workout top, those kinds of things I would only pick up at the bins. The next thing to sell was this Clark's Artisan Beige crisscross pair of ankle strap wedges in a size 7.5. These I've had in my possession for a decent amount of time, but they sold for $30. I had $4.92 into them from a local consignment store, so I made a profit of $19.08. Not too long ago, I made a video about bread and butter shoe brands and styles to sell online. Clark's did not make it on my list because I kind of have a hard time moving it. I tend to sit on it for a while, but a lot of you left comments saying that Clarks were definitely one of your most trusted bread and butter brands. Let me know in the comments if you agree. And if you want to check out that bread and butter shoes video, I will have it linked here and down in the description below. But yeah, I mean, I was happy that they finally sold and that I made close to a $20 profit. It did take a while though. The last thing to sell this week on Poshmark was this Michael Stars cream 3/4 sleeve cardigan in a size small. For some reason, I feel like this had a little hole in it as well, but it sold for $15 with discounted ship. I had $3 into it from I don't know where I got it, but I made a profit of $7.28. It was listed for a very long time. I used to always pick up Michael Stars because it is pretty expensive retail. I don't really pick it up anymore because one, I don't feel like their stuff is very well made, and a lot of times I would get it home and notice holes and things of that nature on the garment, and also the resale value is just not very high. So let's talk about my numbers for the week. On Poshmark, I sold 16 items, which wasn't bad given how bad Poshmark has been. That's not horrible. My gross sales amount was $360, but once you factor in any discounted shipping, which I had a decent amount of thanks to Posh VA, and once you factor in Poshmark's 20% fees, that total drops to $277.53. My cost of goods for those 16 items was $58.92, and so my net profit, the amount that actually made its way into my bank account from Poshmark, was $218.61. On eBay, I only had 8 sales, and that was for a gross sales amount of $191.29. Once you factor in eBay's fees, that total drops to $151.04. My cost of goods for my eBay items was $22.34, and so I made a net profit of $128.70. I had one Mercari sale. I feel like Mercari has been so good for me, and then it died. It's kind of picking back up, but I don't know, it was dead for a while. So I had $20 in gross sales on Mercari. Once you factor in Mercari's fees, that total dropped to $17.12. I had $8.56 into that item because it was like a splitting the profit in half type situation. So my net profit was $8.56. I had 7 sales on Kidizen for a gross sales amount of $180.15. Once you factor in shipping, because they do offer free shipping on Kidizen, and Kidizen fees, that total drops to $139.68. My cost of goods for those 7 items was only $12.52, so I made a net profit of $127.16, which is only $1 less than the amount that I earned on eBay, and so much more than the amount that I earned on Mercari. Kidizen, in case you didn't realize it yet, was my surprise platform of the week. If Kidizen could always perform like that, I would be ecstatic. But again, that's why, even though I've exclaimed in many videos that I'm going to quit Kidizen, I'm glad that I haven't. I'm glad that I still cross-list over there. Even if there are many weeks that I don't make any sales, Kidizen, of all the platforms, really takes very little time to cross-list to. So I'm happy to do it, especially if I can have weeks here and there where I'm, netting close to $130. I'll take it. So in total, I sold 32 items this week for a gross sales amount of $751.44. Once you factor in all of the shipping and discounts, that total drops to $585.37. My cost of goods for those 32 items was $102.34, which basically means my cost of goods was around $3.20, which is pretty low. So I made a net profit of $483.03. So for the month of April, I made a net profit of $2,461.45, which is not amazing given the fact that, my goal, if I'm trying to make $40,000 in net profit for the year of 2022, my monthly goal is $3,333.33. So year to date so far, because I've had some of you ask in the comments, how come you don't share your year to date? So I will. It's just because I've been lazy in terms of doing my numbers. But year to date, my goal as far as where I should be right now is $13,333.32. Where I'm at actually is $10,163.95. So I am short of my goal by over $3,000, and that seems pretty daunting. However, it's also pretty cool that in 4 months I made over 10 grand. That's pretty substantial. That's pretty huge. And you know, as someone who is teaching, having an extra 10 grand in 4 months, that is a big deal. That's a big chunk of change, and it feels really good, you know, to add that to my bank account. So that's how I'm doing so far. That's how my month of April was, and that's how the last week of April was. It's not amazing, but it is what it is, and I'm thankful for every dollar, for every penny, because it's money that I didn't have before. So that's my video for you today. If you enjoyed it at all, I would definitely appreciate if you could hit that like button and letting YouTube know that this is a video worth pushing out there within its algorithm. So thanks again for watching, for spending your time with me. I super duper appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!